Welcome back to the Faith Plus One show. Well, guys, it's Monday. Happy 6th of the October month, 2025. I hope you guys had a very smooth weekend, right? Nothing seemed to have happened in the couple of days, right? I'm just kidding. We'll get to that in a second. But more importantly, hope you guys had a good, faithful filled weekend. Hopefully, you guys did something to help other people. Hopefully, you guys did something to help yourself. And I hope above all, you got a little bit closer to God and our Jesus Christ. So, with that being said, there are three major things I wrote down I want to talk about today, kind of all happening throughout the weekend. Although this first story I think is pretty essential and has developed over the last couple of hours, really. And that is we are now day number 6, almost a full week tomorrow, of the government shutdown in the United States of America. Estimates put the amount of workers who are not going to get their money at over 75,000 workers in the country right now are not going to be getting their paychecks on time, which is, hey, wow, I'm glad you guys decided to do that. But I want to talk a little bit specifically about Mike Johnson. Now, if anyone is unfamiliar with who Mike, with who Mike Johnson is, he is the GOP Speaker of the House. Okay, he is a 53-year-old Republican. All right, and he speaks for the House. He's obviously the Speaker of the House. And I want to talk about this because he came out this morning and he had a press conference. Okay, and I'm going to explain how I interpreted it the best I can, and then explain it to you guys, and we'll sort of get a better understanding. Essentially, what has happened is Mike Johnson has said that the Republicans have proposed not new bills, not new regulations, not new changing of the guard, not new policies. What they've suggested is that they just agree as to a short-term extension to keep the government open. And this was about a 35-minute press conference this morning where he took questions, which there's a telltale sign in politics. When you're taking questions, chances are you have your facts, right? A lot of times you'll see politicians speak and they won't take questions. But for the most part, when you do take questions, it's because you are believing that you really are looking at the facts. And that was a really big thing about this press conference. He brought up 6 facts. We're not going to go into all of them here. But essentially, the big important things is that when they are addressing us Americans, to the people, and they say they can't agree upon a bill, they are not talking about the overall budget. Now, they will not agree on that, and we'll get to that point, but we're not even at that point yet. The point that they cannot even agree on, and that the Democrats can't even agree on, is that there's an extension that was proposed. There was an extension to keep the government open while all the lawmakers debated and worked together to come up with compromises. And that's the bill that the Democrats refused to do, right? Let's make this very clear. This extension that they've said, that they've proposed, this clean version, this clean bill, is the exact same implements that were the ones that were being used when President Biden was the one in office. Okay, so when your own Democrat was the commander-in-chief of this country, like, you don't even want to go back to that. So in short, Republicans are not adding anything, right? They talk about all this stuff that the Republicans want to do, and that they're all cowards and spineless, and they're trying to hide behind this. The Republicans are not adding a single thing to this extension. The Democrats are the ones that want to add things to it, and they're saying no until the end. And again, this is not to change laws or to change how money is being spent. This is simply to keep the government open so 75,000 people are going to get their paychecks on time, which at this point now, it looks like it probably won't happen. And Trump came out and said that the firing is most likely going to start this week if they can't come to an arrangement. And here's the bottom line to me, okay? Mike Johnson comes on TV this morning and he speaks for 40 minutes, 35 minutes, however. He takes questions. He gives concise, accurate, statistic answers, facts that he talks about, okay? Now, did we fact check every single thing that he said? No. Is there some of it that maybe could be embellished or maybe wasn't as accurate or cut and dry as he says? Well, he's a politician. Doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on. Chances are you're being very political. But here's the thing. I need to see a Democrat do the exact same thing for the opposite in order for me to believe that. If AOC and all the other Democrat socialist everybody's bad except for us people want to come online and they want to talk about how bad the Republicans are and they want to say how spineless and cowardly and how much they're lying to you, then you come on a live, you get on your TikTok, you get on your Instagram, you go to a news outlet and you say, this is what Mike Johnson said, this is how we see it. And until that is what's being proven, then I'm taking the guy who's coming out, who's stating facts, who's saying nothing, personally attacking of the Democratic Party. He is just speaking what he is saying. That's it. He's not calling out people for their height or their weight or their looks. And I know the president of the United States does that from time to time. But as far as politics go, this is the opportunity where the Democrats can be like, hey, Mike said this, but this is actually how we're really viewing it. And this is why it's really like that. So until the Democrats do that, I mean, this is totally on the Democratic Party. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it until I see something or someone says something in my comments that makes me have to go look something else up and see things in a different light. So that's something that's just really, it was pretty crazy to see. But speaking of, unfortunately, pretty crazy things to see, I want to talk about Vincent Bataloro, who is a 17-year-old boy, 17-year-old little boy from New Jersey, who, if you didn't hear, over the weekend, he ran over two young 17-year-old women who were on electric bikes, and he was reportedly going, I think it was 70 miles an hour. And he ran them over and he killed them. He has now been arrested, detained, and he'll be charged with murder. And hopefully he'll at least go to prison the rest of his life. But I want to talk about this from a more, part of me wants to say parental view, but that's not even the right. This is what I mean when I talk about mental health is, I think, the biggest issue in this country. And moments like this make me want to go that extra mile and say it's really mental health with men, boys. And it starts from the house. It starts from how they're brought up. It starts from their father-child relationship. It starts with positive male figures in their life. How to be a man is what it is, where it starts. And I think time and time again, we let too many things fall through the cracks with boys and men in this country. And I don't like to play the blame game of men and women and things like that. When we talk about gun violence, when we talk about suicide prevention, when we talk about depression, when we talk about anything regarding the mental psyche of an individual, I feel like it is almost always more aggressive and violent in the men. And so I feel like at this point, it's probably best to just kind of say mental health is an issue in this country, but the aggression in which the men have stemming from mental health is to me the number one priority that needs to be adjusted. Because this gentleman, this Vincent guy, this little boy, he ended up actually live streaming before he got arrested about it. And you've probably seen the video of him with like his little evil laugh and stuff. I'm not going to show anything of him on this because I don't want to. It's my video and I can add whatever I want. I don't want to show him his face, but he streamed about it and he talks about how, there's a problem with this country and that you can't attack his family and expect nothing to happen. I mean, it's all but pretty much a confession. And at the end of the video, he talks about mental health and he talks about how he's bullied. Now, keep in mind, mental health and bullying are not, I do not consider them the same. Okay. I think they're different things. I think mental health is by far a much more dangerous thing from bullying. And I don't necessarily think bad mental health can solely be attributed to being a victim of bullying. We've all had our fair share of bullying, but not all of us have mental issues to the point of aggression and anger. So I think that's something that I really want to talk about. I feel so bad for the two girls. They seem like they were nice girls who were kind of on the path for schooling in the future and just being good. But I also think that the sidebar of this is I think electric transportation is so dangerous. Whether it's electric scooters or electric bikes, I think that's so dangerous as well. But that's sort of not really part of this story, just a tale for another day. And so that's pretty much how that is. And last but certainly not least, we got to talk about our man, our once professional quarterback of the New York Jets, Mark Sanchez. Okay, so it was reported this weekend that Mark Sanchez got stabbed and was in a hospital. Well, now it's being reported that Mark Sanchez had a dispute with a 60-year-old truck driver, and they got into an altercation, and Mark Sanchez got stabbed in self-defense. The truck driver was 69, by the way, not 60. But he just told police that this guy is trying to kill me, and that's why he stabbed him in self-defense. Now, look, I don't know. We haven't seen a video. We haven't seen anything. But the concisest thing is that it does look like wait, what is this? The family of the victim provided the following images of the victim's injuries showing the damage inflicted on the 69-year-old during the attack. The family wishes to remain anonymous due to the attention around the incident, but said the man was cut and oh my goodness, these are pictures. He looks beat up. Oh yeah, no, this is Mark Sanchez is going to jail. Oh, this is terrible. So anyway, point being, I just saw these live. Do not look up these pictures. These are, I got to get off the screen. Those are gross, terrible, unfortunate. But so it looks like there will be video out here. I'm reading this article again. There's videos and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, Mark Sanchez was drunk. Okay. Mark Sanchez was intoxicated. I don't know if the other man was, but the more important part of this story that I want to talk about is something that I feel is really missed in this country a lot, and especially in the culture a lot, is that drinking and getting drunk have never been positives, right? When has anybody ever done anything positive while being drunk? Right? When was something invented or a great masterpiece created from the result of someone being drunk? Never. And only negative things happen when you drink. Only negative things happen when you're drunk. So I think that's really important to understand. And I mean, obviously, from a biblical side, it's a sin to be drunk. So not drink. I'm not saying drink. I'm just saying to be drunk. So I think that's something that we're seeing right now. I'm really thrown off by this. Mark Sanchez is, I think he's going to go to prison. This is a terrible thing for him. But anyway, that's pretty much where we're at for the end of today's stories, guys. There's a couple more things I want to talk about that we'll probably talk about throughout the week. But those were the big stories I wanted to mention today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hopefully you guys open your Bible if you can, read a little bit, get a little bit closer to God, be kind to someone today, forgive and forget. Have a wonderful Monday. Be safe out there. Don't get too mad at traffic, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Actually, I'm not going to see you, but I'll make a video tomorrow.